So welcome guys to episode 23 of the Lodcast, and this one's a bit of, well, for the newer Lodcast this is pretty different. We have a guest for the first time in what, like 10 episodes, I think?
Longer than that. It's been a while.
Episode
dude.
wise, maybe shorter, but like actual time, it's been forever.
Yeah, I think it actually has been a year because Matt was our last guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so first I'd like to ask Eric, how has your week been? Or last 2
It's
weeks?
been all right. I've been doing a lot better than usual. And that's saying something. I got 2 new games. I've been trying to play some new games here. I got Ancestors, which is actually a lot of fun. Its learning curve is ridiculously high though. But then I got Watch Dogs Legion, and I was like, I want to play that a bit more. I'm not doing it on my channel. I just wanted to play it for the sake of playing it.
Yeah, interesting. How was yours, Matt?
I'm pretty good. Just working at Best Buy, getting some money. I got the game Ghost Runner the other day, which is pretty fun.
Is it the cyberpunky game? Where it's
Yeah.
like, you're like this guy who like runs around jumping from people and killing.
Yeah, it's basically first person cyberpunk Hotline Miami with the sword.
Oh.
It's pretty fun though. Other than that, yeah, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, well, my last 2 weeks, pretty fun, I guess. Not much really happened. Like, I haven't even been up to date on YouTube because I had midterms for like 2 straight weeks.
Imagine being in school, nerd. I graduated. I'm just an old fuck.
But yeah, no, besides that, not really anything happened. That said, I think we should move on to the next section by bridging into it. We have a guest on this week. You guys might know him from my channel, but it's Infinity Break. Is it okay if we call you that? We all go by our names here, but it's up to you if you want to be called
That's
that.
fine. You can call me Infinity, which is what most people do on stuff like this. Or you can call me Jay. I don't mind. You call me
Jay,
Jay.
all right, yeah.
Yeah, Jay.
Yeah. So how's your week? Well, you've never been on the podcast. How have you been?
How's
I've been-
life?
I've been okay. It's been a pretty hectic year in general, but the last week's been pretty good. Halloween was yesterday, and that's why you messaged me like, "You want to do a thing on Saturday?" And I was like, "I would love to do it on Saturday, but I'm kind of going somewhere." So that's why I was like, "Can we do it on Sunday or something?" And you were kind enough to oblige, which was cool.
Yeah,
But
man.
not much going on besides Halloween and stuff.
Well, that's pretty cool. I think with that, I'll bridge this into the interview. I haven't done one of these in a year, but we'll see how it goes.
No
So-
pressure, dude. I have no expectations. You're good.
So, for the audience to know,
Pressure.
who the hell are you? Just like describe yourself to the audience.
I am Infinity Break. Most people just call me that on YouTube. I am a YouTuber who loves to talk about mods and stuff for Skyrim, Elder Scrolls stuff, Bethesda stuff. I've mentioned Fallout here and there, and I'm also a Persona guy. I love to break down Persona songs, which I actually need to do another one soon. I love a lot of stuff on YouTube and a lot of stuff in communities, mostly the Elder Scrolls communities, which is why I like to review mods, interview a lot of developers and stuff behind those mods, and just overall just talk a lot about the lore and stuff, which is what our video was not that long ago. Me and you talked about Lorcan from Elder Scrolls, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it was lots of fun.
Yeah.
That was actually the first video I ever made that was fully animated. So
I know, it was cool. I watched it. I was like, damn, I think I've seen a lot of your videos before. And I was like, this is a lot more quality than it normally is. Not to say your videos are bad, but
no.
yeah.
Ooh,
Sorry,
down.
I realized that I said that, but I'm like, you had more quality in that
Yeah,
video
man,
than I had
I
ever
spent
seen
like
before.
3 weeks making that.
Dude, same on my end. I was like, oh, I got a script. I gotta get my outlines just right. And it took me like almost 3 weeks to get mine done too.
Yeah, because I kept like pushing it back. I was like, "Hey, can we delay this? Like, I'm not done yet." But
And
yeah,
I was like, you didn't know it, but I was like minutes away from messaging you, like, hey, can we delay this? And it was just like, yeah, perfect. Yeah, definitely.
but yeah, I'm just like I'm kind of lost, so I'm just gonna go with the stuff I've already written. What are your plans for the future?
I plan on eventually integrating myself into the world government and eventually taking it over. No, I'm just here on like YouTube stuff. I'm not. I had a plan a while ago, and that kind of got derailed because I realized I needed to prioritize more things, more fun and stuff. So I'm actually, the less I've been focused on it, the more successful I've become, which has been kind of ironic. Mostly future stuff for YouTube is just make Elder Scrolls stuff, try to get involved in the community more. Persona stuff is break down all the songs. Hopefully, talk about the new games when they come out, like Shin Megami Tensei stuff. And real life things is just keep doing what I'm doing, keep being a machinist, keep playing YouTube stuff, keep playing video games, obviously, and just have fun. Try to figure life stuff as it goes on.
Oh, you're a machinist? Our other host, Cam, Scribe, is a machinist too.
Oh, really? What kind of stuff do they run?
I think he does, it's the name of like this big tool thing.
Hardcore porn.
Perfect.
Yes.
I see. He's the man of culture as well.
The only tool needed.
Is he a tool and die? Is he like CNC?
Oh, CNC, that's the one.
Yeah, I'm a CNC machinist, but I run EDM wire machines, which is the craziest machine I think I've ever seen before. It's takes a brass wire, threads it through a hole, uses like stuff that's within like 1,000th of an inch to like how to indicate it all in and everything. And then you just erode away the metal using electricity within like water that has all the minerals taken out of it, which is really cool.
That's metal.
It's pretty crazy. I didn't even know it could be done before I was put into the room and learned how to do it, but it's interesting.
Let's take a moment and I'll appreciate that pun you just made, Usher.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah.
Just so you know, Ash, I would have hit you if I didn't hear you.
I was about to do then snap my neck.
Disgusting.
Hear a loud snap.
Yeah, so this is kind of branching off it. How did you even get started with YouTube? Because like, for me, Matt doesn't do YouTube, but he tried once. But for me and Eric,
OBS crashed, and it was just kind of a sign.
Oh jeez.
I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be my first video. Then I'm gonna edit it, and then OBS just decided not to work, and I was like, well, I'm not spending another hour doing that.
Hey man, don't feel bad. It's a really hard thing to get into, and it's not for everybody. Yeah. Do not feel bad. Don't ever feel upset or ashamed that you never get into it, because I almost didn't get into it. It's and that's not really much to say. I'm not really the biggest thing in the world. I just wanted to give you some like thing. Like, I understand to a degree, but no, YouTube, I got into it. My YouTube thing happened when I was a wee lad, when I used to just sit on my phone watching stuff back in the old age of 2012, 2010. And I was like, hey, this is cool. People can do this and make money off of it. And that was back at the peak. So over the years, as I've watched it and I've seen it change and I've heard about stuff and got involved in the community, I was like, oh, I love this stuff so much. It turned into like a dream job kind of thing, So much so I wanted to like get my own computer. I wanted to figure out how to like play the games people were playing. And before I knew it, I remember saving up and buying a computer to play Skyrim on, because I wanted to mod Skyrim. And then I eventually was like, I have this really good computer I spent like $1,000 on. I can finally do a YouTube thing. So I sat down, took my income tax return, bought a nice, decent microphone, and I found out how to work the editing software and stuff. And I made my first video. It was serviceable. Didn't make many views, but then I made a second one. I got lucky and I got like 1,000 views, and it kind of kickstarted me on the path I got onto.
Oh, what was your first video?
The first video was a series that I wanted to do and I still want to, but I keep procrastinating and getting busy and stuff. It was called A Study of the Elder Scrolls, and I was eventually going to do like a study of all these different series, but as it panned out, it never worked. It was supposed to be on Arena, and it was, and people liked it for what it was. It went over the history of Arena and the Elder Scrolls, how the game got to be called what it was, how it came out to be what it was, the history of like how it performed at the time. And I think it made currently has like 300 views on it. It's not bad, at least not by my channel standards. But it wasn't my most popular video, obviously. I came out with a second video after that, which was a theory. I had about like the Elder Scrolls 6 and how the themes and the instruments matched up with the Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. And that got like 1,000 something views. And it made me immediately start doing like theories and stuff, which put me on a spiral of up and then down. But that's a big story for another time. All you need to know is that that was my first video, and it had like a month worth of effort put into it for me to learn how to do everything and then eventually post it, which was cool.
So you mentioned earlier how you were trying to get into the Elder Scrolls community. A bit of a warning, and I think Eric would give you this warning too. Try not to get too heavily invested. Like, it took me and Eric, we talked about this on the last podcast. It took us like years to get out of the Elder Scrolls. Like, it's good for boosting you, but like,
You're stuck in the hole. Then.
Yeah, exactly. It's, oh my god, it took me like, I'll do it. I still do make videos on it. It's just like the videos I make for the Elder Scrolls now are way more of a passion project than just like content.
You're the Bethesda guy now.
Exactly. I'm Bethesda guy. I only make videos on Bethesda stuff, but eventually I'll get to another game.
It's it's like, did you initially make stuff for your channel just like to do that, or were you trying to do other things too?
So this is a bit of a history lesson in the Daft Tick channel, formerly known as HB Production. I'm actually on my YouTube channel right now. I'm going back to the oldest one. So the first ever video that was ever uploaded on the channel was 4 years ago, and it was by my brother, because this used to be a joint channel with my brother. He brought me on like in 2016, I think. It was a video on the Elder Scrolls, and it was like a prelude video. And then he used to upload like creepypasta videos, and then like a video ranting about Dragon Ball GT. I'm just looking through this, and then eventually I came on, and the first video I ever made was a meme video.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and I think you can tell that if you look on the channel now where it's been headed. But yeah, I started off with an Elder Scrolls video too. What did you start with, Eric? Now that we mention it.
So I kind of just did like a bunch of everything at first, because I started my channel back in 2015. My very first video was a Battlefront like 2015 video, and then like basically I always loved the Elder Scrolls, and then what got me into that was like I did like a top 5 fucking facts or something, I don't know, and then Zork found me and was like, you seem to be okay at the. Actually, no, not yet. I made the top 5 facts, and it sucked. And I was like, it didn't do well. And then I made a video about the Great War, like a year and a half later. I made the lore video on that, and then that's when Zork found me. It was like, you're not bad. You could use a little bit of help, obviously, and then gave me a bunch of help and tips in terms of editing, what I should do, and then it just kind of branched off from there. So yeah, it went from more of a gaming channel to a gaming and lore channel, and now I just do a bunch of everything. And I found that PC games are far more successful on the channel. People like PC games more than console games.
I feel like when people talk about console games, it's either going to be like a Let's Play, but whenever you see like a video that's about lore, it's usually a game that is mainly PC dominated.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you'll never see like a lore video on, I don't know, Watch Dogs, which is coming up soon.
I have seen a video on the timeline of it, or at least I saw the thumbnail for it. I didn't watch it yet. I have plans to, though.
Yeah, but you're not going to see like the videos where like they like nose dive in, because who really cares about?
Where they fucking like dive into the history of one of the writer's children to learn about.
Behind Aiden Pierce's hat, where did it come from?
Where did it go?
No, that's the kind of unique thing about the Elder Scrolls, because like I saw a meme that was like making fun of like Fallout to an extent, right? But it's like, because Fallout lore is nowhere near as in depth as like Elder Scrolls, which I don't really think that's true. I think they're both unique in their own way, but it's kind of crazy how different Elder Scrolls is compared to everything else, because we've all managed to build somewhat of a channel based off of it.
I have wholeheartedly embraced it because I have had roots in it since I was like 10 years old. I played Oblivion, and that was the first ever game where I was like, I can go anywhere I want. It's amazing. And I've been infatuated by it ever since.
See that mountain up there, kid?
You can go there.
That mountain up there, you get a horse and you'll go up there.
Get a horse or just hug it as hard as possible while running full speed.
And jump.
You'll
and
eventually make it to the
Yeah,
top.
make sure to jump every now and then. You'll get it.
Yeah, you got
and speaking of which, getting kind of back on topic, since this is supposed to be the interview section for Mr. Infinity Break, could you describe your video making process? And then if possible, like just follow it up with like interests and stuff that you do that you feel like kind of build into that.
All right, well, kind of depends, because I've got a couple different ways I like to do things, depending on what video I'm going to make. So if we're going to start with, like, the way I used to do, like, theories and stuff was I would look in my community and people would give me ideas and I would give them credit and I would build upon it. I stopped doing those a while ago, though. When it comes to mod reviews, which is something I also have recently gotten back into, as well as did a long time ago, mod reviews are interesting because I'll contact the mod author. I will see if I can get their input on anything. I'll also let them know I'm making a review. If I do, then I let them know, I get some info. I make a review after playing through the mod, getting some footage and some still shots. And then I typically edit everything together with a script, edit it all together on my program, render it out, make a thumbnail, post it, share it with the mod author, and then I call it a day. When it comes to like Persona videos, those are breakdowns. Those take a long time. Not a long time, but they take a sizable amount of time. I will start with a song. I will listen to it for about like 30 times or so because I like the songs a lot, so it doesn't matter anyway. I'll analyze the lyrics. I'll look at the context of the game. Typically, I'll play the game, and then I will write down notes after posting the lyrics in a document, and I'll typically add notes after each like verse. And then I'll record it. I'll grab some footage, and then I'll edit it all together. I'll post it, and then that just takes care of itself. But most of the time, it's a process of the topic I want, scripting it out, getting footage for it. Those last two I said could be interchanged. I could get the footage first and then do the script and whatever later. And editing it, posting the thumbnail with the video and everything and all that stuff. And then just kind of like letting it play out. Sometimes I'll share stuff to forums because I know people like it. Sometimes I'll just share it with mod authors because I know they want to see their mod reviews and everything, which is pretty cool. I like doing that. And sometimes I'll just like not do anything with it and just see how it plays out, which sometimes just ends up working. Interests, other things I do. I mean, like I love to play video games. That's really that. I love to watch YouTube. I love YouTube as much as it can be a pain in the ass sometimes. Part of my language. It's there's not really a lot of things I like to do besides that. I just like music, which is why I started doing things where I break down songs and stuff on my channel and see the context behind them because I love that stuff. I love Elder Scrolls. On my free time, I like to, like I said, get involved in the community. I like to see the news and everything. And I mostly just like to mess around and see what I can do with that kind of stuff. There's not really a lot of stuff I like to do besides that, besides writing. And, you know, I try to learn how to draw and stuff, but that's other hobbies and stuff.
Yeah, so interesting you mentioned that. Well, that you mentioned your editor or renderer or editor, whatever you use. What do you use to edit and render?
I have used a we're gonna say it for the video, legally acquired version of Sony Vegas.
yeah, legally, yeah.
So I'm having plans on changing that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I will eventually, quote unquote, get into that more. I guess you could say. I don't want to put words out there that will incriminate
I will
me.
update my current editing software to be a more up-to-date one.
Exactly. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Please don't sue me or whatever.
It's a
I
joke.
use Sony
it's completely
Vegas.
made up.
And if you're asking about other programs, I love Sony Vegas. I love the ever so palatable Audacity, which is an awesome program. OBS is obviously something I use to capture footage. Equipment wise, this microphone I'm currently using is a Blue Yeti Nano. I'm looking into getting a Blue Yeti eventually because I heard you have a little bit more options with that, which is kind of cool. I have a stand. I use a computer that has a lot of stuff. My editing computer is different than my gameplay capturing computer. and also just my dick around computer, I like to say, where I play Skyrim for 7 hours a day. My computer has all the basic stuff. My old one has like I think a 1080 in it, graphics card, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and other nonsense, and a i7 core. My good computer has a 2070 Ti with like a step below an i9 core and 16 gigabytes. So everything I use is pretty expensive. I've definitely sunk some money into a lot of stuff I do. And I take a lot of pride in the work I do. So I like to use the best tools and spend the most time on my videos as much as possible. At least lately. I changed that because a long time ago, I used to not put a lot of effort into it. And I realized that that was not the best thing. And that's not what I want to put out. But yeah, sorry to get off track a little bit.
No. I agree entirely with that. Like the whole, because like there's a point in time where I was just pumping videos out one after the other, and they were all like exactly the same, just with like different topics. And obviously, I'd put effort into like getting footage for that video. But like, I don't know. After a while, it's just it gets grating. And yeah, no, since you mentioned audio, I've put in so much effort into the audio, and it's like it's a bitch. Like what kind of room do you record in? Is it like do you have like the stuff that goes on your walls and all that? Because
Yes, I do.
Okay, so that because your audio is fucking amazing, and I think I've complimented you on that before. I've literally invested over $200 in audio equipment.
Same. I think I've invested 200, 300 in it.
I can't I'm using like a DAC with like a microphone and everything. Obviously not right now because the podcast is a lot more casual. But when I make my videos, like I use like a DAC and all, like a microphone and all that stuff. It just doesn't come out nearly as good as I'd hope, and I have a feeling it has something to do with the fact that I'm using it over a USB connection. So maybe I'll have to fix that at some point.
That's what I do, I think. I have a USB connection, and I think what I do is I have a process. I like to use my Blue Yeti. I have this really nice metal mesh kind of pop filter, and I have another pop filter that kind of extends past the arm and wraps around and is a big circular thing I put over top of that. The key is to make sure you're not too close to your microphone, but you're also not too far away. You also want to make sure you get a scan of the room ahead of time, just complete silence so you can get a feel of the background noise. Get I believe is a specific term for it. The effect is called noise reduction. Get a scan of the room, hit scan for background noise after you've highlighted that clip, let it figure itself out. Do a recording. Make sure you, like I said, not too close, not too far away. Make sure you're not getting the popping of your mouth because that's a pain in the butt to get rid of. And just kind of like remove the background noise. Also make sure that there's not too much noise in the area you're trying to record. Obviously.
Man. I've tried you mentioned all this stuff. I've tried everything in the book. Like I've literally drank water, ate apples and shit to record lines. Like the whole like voice actor thing where like when you go into like if you have spit in your mouth, you're supposed to eat an apple to like get rid of that spit. I forget. It was something I looked up, and then like
spit causes you to like your mouth to smack, and that's what I was.
Oh my god! I used to spend hours getting rid of lip smacking. Nowadays, it's a lot better, but yeah. Oh, that said, we are kind of running.
One of the things you can never escape from. Yeah. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. We're getting a little late on the interview, so I think I'll start wrapping it up. So any questions the other hosts have? You guys want to throw any questions at our guests before we continue?
I'm good. I know you a little bit more from the last podcast we did, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh, it's Big E. I know you.
Well, it sounds like a plan. That said, everything will be linked. Obviously, it's at the end, but Infinity Breaks, like, literally, I'll just, like, fucking do a background search on them and put everything in the description.
Just ask me for anything. I'll give you whatever.
Yeah, no, I'll ask, yeah. But until then, I think it's time we move on, and I'll pass it off to Matt to move us on to the next section.
Yes, now it is time for general news stuff things on the internet. So we're going to start out with Cyberpunk. It was delayed and everyone flipped out.
Yay!
So this is a big topic, and I'm pretty sure we all have opinions. Who wants to start off?
I mean, I'll just throw this out there. I never care when a company delays anything as long as it's going to be like complete when it comes out.
Mhm.
especially with CD Projekt Red. I have nothing against them. Like, all right, guys, do what you got to do, make the game good. I don't really care.
What was weird was, this happened. This was confirmed. I think Thursday, because it was delayed Tuesday. So there was an article that came out Thursday saying that the actual developers had no idea that the delay was gonna be in effect until like Monday afternoon. It was like it was the publisher's decision. I think it
Wait,
was
so the developers were working like he was going to be released in...
exactly.
Oh my god. I've heard
But
the
then
stories
the
about...
publishers, they sent them an email saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have to delay the game due to the next gen and current gen launch."
I've heard stories about CD Projekt Red being like a notoriously... I don't want to call them bad, but like bad employer. Where like they'll force people to work like 18-hour days and with like no vacation or paid time off or anything like that. And like apparently they're like a great place to start working. Like if you're just entering the industry, and that's typically where they get most of their hires. But if
Yep.
you're a veteran, all the Glassdoor reviews are like, get the fuck out of there. You'll get your bonus from the game. You'll probably have a great resume, but that's it. You're going there for the resume, not for the job.
A long term. I heard it was mostly the delay was because of consoles, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The whole idea of like
It's
they need to
all
make it compatible
consoles.
for it. Yeah.
Basically, I think they have the PS5 and the new Xbox. They have those versions like locked in along with PC. I think they're worrying about people with current gen consoles because they don't want to have a great launch on 2 platforms and then they're just complete shitters on the other ones.
Well, it kind of comes with the territory of like it's an older console. There are going to be longer loading times. It's going to not be the best detail. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
And they were the first. They were really the first company to kind of come out, even with The Witcher 3, that said no, The Witcher 3 will not be available for the previous gen consoles just because the hardware can't handle it.
Yeah, it
Makes
surprises me. Like the Xbox One, that's what I'm worried about in terms of console releases. It is so underpowered for all like the newer games that are coming out. Like the base Xbox One, at least. How is it going to handle Cyberpunk?
Oh man, that thing's gonna turn to a heater, is what it's gonna do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's him.
There he is.
I think I know you.
Damn.
said that.
I stopped in real quick. I'm playing D&D. I stopped in real quick to tell you're all gay.
Oh, thank you, Cam.
Oh, wonderful.
I miss you. I
Thank
love you
sir.
too, buddy. I missed you.
And I would suck all of you off.
Oh, what a guy.
What a guy. Just a couple of guys
My
being
thing is not
dudes.
to become unretarded in D&D. I'll be back. I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
My loves.
Bye.
Yeah, so
He's
if you look at...
shit-faced.
Yeah, he is.
Continuing on.
Yeah, where were we with
Spiking audio
Cyberpunk?
about
We were talking about the delay, but we should move on to the public backlash and how
Oh, this is my favorite
people are
part.
like sending death threats to the main developers.
But my
Can I
favorite
say
part of...
something real
Yeah,
quick?
yeah,
Just
go ahead.
on that note, I know I'm the guest, but I feel like I have a very valuable piece of information to like lay on everybody that's doing
Yes.
that. I am, and I think I've already said it. I'm a part of the Bethesda community. You want to know what I've been waiting for like the last over 10 years and have never heard anything on? Elder Scrolls 6. I'm never probably going to see that game for another 5 years. You guys can wait another couple months. You'll be fine.
it's not even a
okay.
couple months.
It's like
at
it was
that
like
point.
it was like a couple weeks, I think.
I think
It's like
by, like
it's not
4
that long
weeks.
away. It's like in December, isn't it? It'll be out before Christmas time.
First week
Just
in December.
bide your time.
So
Go
what?
play another game.
Something I saw on Twitter was like apparently people took like weeks off work for its launch.
Oh, okay. That's fine, but reallocate your vacation time. It's not impossible.
A big complaint was like, I've had to reschedule my vacation time at work like 3 times already. You guys better not delay the game again. My boss will get
You know
really
what?
angry.
You know what? That's a you problem, not a me problem or the company's problem. That's the person being stupid.
Yeah, man, these people are already working 18-hour days. Just fucking let them have it.
Once the game comes out, that's when I'll request time off.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like If I know it's coming out in like a week and like it's only a week or so away, I'll probably schedule like time then, but not like months in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get why people are upset. It's just like, relax. You're gonna get a good game. It's gonna come out. Just there's so many other games coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got so many things to distract yourself with. You got this.
Anyone have anything else they want to say about Cyberpunk?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna buy it when it comes out, and I hope the developers are satisfied with it when it does eventually come out.
I just hope it's not overhyped, because so they mentioned this is actually another thing, a controversy that came out recently, that they got rid of dual wielding in the game, and everyone was like, "What? You guys promised that you got rid of it. Why are you doing that?" And there's like, they had to apologize for that
because.
Well,
it's like that the demo, which that stuff is shown off in, was 2 years old.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm assuming you know the story too, yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm about to say, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so like, yeah, obviously features are going to be removed. Like, relax, guys. You don't even know what the game is like. You've played The Witcher 3, a fucking medieval RPG. This is a fucking futuristic cyberpunk game that's first. They've never done a game like this, and you guys are already overhyping.
Yeah.
It's already got Keanu Reeves in it. What more do you want?
That's actually why I've kind of like ignored everything about Cyberpunk. Like, I've been avoiding Cyberpunk news, gameplay trailers, everything, just because it's like I want to experience the game for how I want to experience it. I don't want to overhype myself.
I haven't seen the gameplay probably since E3. After that, I know there's been new gameplay, but I haven't seen any of it.
I'd say all I watched was the E3 trailer. That was all I watched with it.
Yeah, just the E3 gameplay. Like, that was it for me.
Well,
I only heard about it through Keanu Reeves, and I was like, he's in the game. I want to play it. And I saw some demos, and I was like, this looks cool. I'll probably play it when it comes out. It looks really interesting.
Well, I was actually keeping up to date on it since, like, do you remember that first trailer they released with, like, that chick who's, like, half robot and they're shooting bullets at her? Yeah, that's when I started following.
2011.
Yeah. I was, like, hyped for it then.
You want to know what's really funny, though? Like a week before the Twitter like tweeted like the first in like 10 years, I was like, hey, whatever happened to that Cyberpunk game? Because I recently played through Deus Ex Human Revolution again for like my third time. Great game. And
which one? The old one or the newer one?
The not Mankind Divided, but the
second one, I think it is.
The polygonal one or the recent generation?
The recent generation.
Yeah, that one. That's what I'm asking. I didn't know if you played the old classic or the new one.
Nah. I played
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I played that and I was like, oh wow, that was really good. And then I was like, oh yeah, there's also that Cyberpunk game that, you know, probably isn't coming out. And then a week later, Twitter, everyone's like, oh my god, they tweeted. I'm like, bullshit. And then apparently they tweeted and the rest was history.
It's just
here we are.
It's I'm excited to see it. I feel like we've talked about everything we could talk about with it, but it's definitely an exciting game that's going to come out. And whatever it is, I'm looking forward to it. I'm probably going to sink a good like 10-20 hours into it at minimum. That's going to be cool. And
speaking of new launches, Matt, you want to move us on?
Good job. That's all. Good job on the segue. Amazing. So Watch Dogs Legion recently came out, and it came out on Thursday, which games usually come out on Friday now. They used to come out on Tuesdays, but I guess fuck it, switch it. But apparently, Watch Dogs Legion, for people that bought the game for Xbox, the game's actually kind of frying their actual Xbox, like the unit itself. So the game.
Like I joked earlier, I told them their Xboxes are going to turn into heaters, so it's actually doing that. That's awesome.
It actually is. Yeah.
I don't know how awesome that is.
I mean, it's awesome because I made the joke. It probably sucks in real life, but
that's why when I asked you, Eric, what you were playing on, because I was like, oh no, is he playing on the Ticking Time Bomb, or is he playing on something else?
Because my PS4 is like a fucking exhaust at times, which is annoying as all fuck. Yeah. I'm sure you guys have that game that's just like, we're gonna fry your system. Hang on. Yep. But this game is nowhere. Actually, I would say it's not nearly as bad as a game like Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2, it sounds like my my PS4 is like on fire, and it's just like about to crash. So there is that. But it doesn't sound bad. It did crash on me once. Game did.
Well, that's just Ubisoft.
Yeah, which was frustrating because I was literally like 10 minutes in, not even. I was like, all right, cool, that's a cool game. Didn't need to play. But it's better than the other Watch Dogs games. I've played all of them. The first one was not a fan of, and it wasn't because of all like the controversy with the graphics. It had to do more with just like the game in general. I mean, this game is fun. If you guys are able to, I don't know if $60 is really worth it. If you guys can get it on a deal, I think that would be the best option there.
Sale. Got it.
But yeah, does anyone else have to add in
So
to ticking time bomb?
Not to the ticking time bomb. I mean, Xbox consoles have always been known to be ticking time bombs ever since the Red Ring of Death thing. But
oh yeah,
I would like to add that, Matt, weren't you the guy who said, like, unironically, that you enjoyed Watch Dogs, the original?
Oh, it's a great game, yeah.
Yeah, would you like to defend your opinion? I've never played it. I honestly don't know. So
You think I unironically like that game? All right. Basically,
okay, here we go.
if you play Watch Dogs 1 for what it is, it's not terrible, but if you're expecting something to be on par with like Grand Theft Auto, you're gonna hate it. Because like if you play for the first time and you're expecting that, you're not gonna like it. But like I went back to it and I'm like, okay, I see why some people probably like it and will defend it. But
didn't like Ubisoft tout it as like their big next gen game that was supposed to like, compete with GTA?
Yeah,
that was the thing. I remember the only hate that I remember coming from it was that the trailer, and it was part of one of those games that at the time the trailer for it at E3 would be like, oh my god, this is gonna break ground. It's gonna open up new doors in gaming. And it came out and it was just like cars are flying through the air and you're like scratching them up, but the car still looks perfectly fine with the scratches on it.
Wind, because you know he's in Chicago and it's a windy city, so there's wind.
It's not a bad game. It was just one of those games that got caught up in the whole falsely advertised.
It's a Ubisoft game.
Yeah.
If you like Ubisoft games, you're gonna like it.
You're gonna hate it. It's Ubisoft is back and forth.
Yeah, I didn't play Watch Dogs 2. I have it on my PC. I've yet to play it.
So I can talk about it a little bit when we get to my like whatever we want to talk about. I don't know if you want to wait because I do want to talk about the series as a whole.
Eric, would you like to move us on to the next section?
Yeah, so we reached the part of the podcast where there's no specific news. It's just stuff we want to talk about, whether it's interesting or somewhat smaller news. And Ash, I think you have the first topic you want to talk about. So the new AMD cards. I know nothing about it.
So Matt mentioned, Matt's going to talk about the RTX 3070, but
yes,
AMD recently had like their graphics card announcement. And like, as we know, AMD's graphics cards are fucking ass, and that is a fact. Up until this recent announcement that, like, honestly surprised me. So you know how, like, NVIDIA, I don't know if I've talked about this, they introduced their RTX 3090, and it, like, blew everything out of the water. They called it the BF GPU and all that shit, and it had, like, 24 gigs of VRAM, and it's meant to be, like, the equivalent to a Titan. Well, AMD released, I think it was the 6900 XT, and like it was like apparently it's supposed to compete with the 3090 and everything, including like I don't know about ray tracing, they didn't really talk about it much, but like performance wise, the fact that it even matches up, like, is AMD back? I don't know. It's everything about AMD recently has been surprising me. Like, they went from having terrible... Well, their CPUs have always been good, but they went from having, like, being the underdog in CPUs to suddenly, like, fucking kicking Intel's ass. And now their GPUs are starting to do the same. Like, where has this been? What? Like, I don't know, man. I think I might just end up, like, upgrading... Because I am on a laptop right now. That's just because of school. But when I do eventually like upgrade everything, I might just end up going purely with AMD. The only issue is like, AMD in general is, they don't
I don't know.
they don't know how to optimize.
Yeah, that's why I like the NVIDIA graphics cards, because I love the GeForce Experience app because it's really easy to use. Like with other graphics cards, I don't know. I just feel like NVIDIA is more accessible.
I have an
NVIDIA.
NVIDIA with my PC.
It just feels simple to use.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
So in general, AMD they good now, but maybe they not so good because their software shit is really bad.
I've
So
heard
they
sound like Skull
whispers that they
Candy.
can be good. Yeah, Skull Candies.
They
I've
sound
had 7 Skull Candy headphones. They were all replacements of the previous ones.
Yeah. They basically just sound like Skull Candy, like how they're just like, oh, I don't want to spend a bunch of money. I'll just have these shitty headphones for a while.
And they'll work longer too.
Yeah.
All right then, Eric, you want to talk about your subject?
Yeah, so I just want to go over. It's like I've been playing Watch Dogs Legion for the last, I would say probably like 5 hours. So I want to talk about the series as a whole because I played every single game, and it's nice to know that one of us actually enjoyed the first one.
It's a great game, man.
I couldn't play the first one.
He's a
because
deep character.
I couldn't play the first one. I wouldn't know because every time I tried to play it, I get raided by a player online, and they'd kill me.
You can turn that off.
And then I tried to turn it off, and then it was like, you can't play this game unless you're connected to the internet. And it's like, I am, though. And it's like, no, you're not. And it wouldn't work unless I, turned on that specific thing. So it was infuriating. And so I was like,
hate
all right.
games that make you play with the internet, especially when they can be played offline.
Right. And then so I was just like, fuck that. I'm not doing that. And then I was talking to my buddy about it. He's like, it's probably just a glitch in the game. I'm like, I'm not going to delete a game just to re-download it. Screw that. So never played it again. Now deleted it, never played it.
I
You should
did
go
Dark
back
Souls
to it.
when I
You
first
should
started
go back
trying to
to
play
it.
it.
Should
And
go
then-
back to it.
I played Watch Dogs 2, which Watch Dogs 2 is weird. Like, there was just no point to it. Like, I played it and I just got bored because there was story missions just didn't interest me enough. So it's just like, all right, I'll just leave it and good. And I just never really kind of kept up with it. And then Watch Dogs 3, I think it's better because there's a lot more customizable stuff. Like, you actually are building a team, which is pretty cool. Like, you have control of everyone you recruit and everyone you talk to. And I like that a lot. I think it's a lot of fun.
You see, that's kind of why I want the game. Because I feel like I would just fuck around with that the whole time.
Yeah, that's actually what I've been doing pretty much for the most part. I've been doing a couple story missions and then I've been fucking around. Something that will, I'm sure, trigger some people. I don't know who the fuck it'll trigger. Out of the starting main characters, there's I think 12 or 15 main characters you could choose out of, right? I'm not too sure. There are no white men you could be. You have to recruit the white men.
Oh, that's it. I'm out. I gotta leave,
Yep,
guys.
sorry, I'm
I
not
get my
represented.
Goddamn car and go. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sure
I
it'll
don't
trigger
think so.
somebody.
No, I don't know why people would be upset about that. As long as the
yeah,
characters are cool, I don't fucking
Yeah,
care.
the character I'm picking is actually pretty cool. Everyone has their own little unique thing to blend in or hide. Some chick, I recruited some chick, and the only reason I recruited her is because she brings a semi-automatic shotgun. I was like, or a pump action shotgun. I was like, yeah, that's
That's
cool.
all
I'll
the
take you.
character you need right there. Perfect.
She's like, I'm a bartender and I have a shotgun. I'm like, cool, we're friends
That's all
now.
you need. You're in.
Wait, so
Like the Deadpool scene where they're hiring people, you're in.
Right.
wait, so how exactly is
But-
the new gimmick? Is it any good? Because apparently wasn't the thing that you could be anyone?
Yes.
Yeah, you can legitimately be anyone, and you can find it. There's some people that are have negative attitudes towards DedSec, which is the hacker group, right? They have a negative approach towards them, and apparently the more gear you get, the better off they'll be. And you'll be able to convince them to like DedSec, and that's kind of cool too. You can recruit politicians and shit. I have a couple. You can mark people that you want to recruit in the future that you can't right now, which is kind of cool. 'Cause I have a politician I've marked because it's fuck yeah, I would like to have a politician. They bring their own assets to the team. for this one in particular, it would give me like bonus money if I get them in like every now and then. I got a doctor, a neurologist, and they make it so if my teammate of mine or someone is hurt or shot, they recover faster. I just got a construction worker, which allows me to have access to drones and like certain drones and certain weapons. It's crazy how much stuff actually comes in. Who's with what? I like that a lot.
Hypothetically, if I were bored and I can't find any games to play, and I happen to have money, should I get the game?
That is legitimately the pure reason I got this game. I had no new games. I was bored out of my mind, and I was like, I don't really want to go through the learning curve of Ancestor right now. I'm going to play... Watch Dogs Legion came out.
Because I just want to fuck around with the mechanic thing, and do you think it's worth it just for fucking around with that?
That is legitimately why I bought it.
So
and like I said, it is fun. I have fun with it. I would say if you can get it on sale, that would probably be better. I would say it's probably like... Because like how I am with Ubisoft and the Watch Dogs in general, I would say like $40 would be the best price.
Eric,
but like, hey, if you got money fucking around, go
you
ahead.
don't understand. The king is back. They added Aiden Pierce into the Watch Dogs 3. The king is back. He's finally back.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when they announced that, I tweeted that. I said he's back. The best character in video game history is back.
I disagree with you on that, but
It's
hey.
sarcasm.
Something that's actually kind of creepy.
Let us say I could feel and taste the sarcasm on that comment. I don't even know who you're talking about. I could do that.
You have a
Aiden
little
Pierce.
robot spider you can throw out and run around, right? They legit will, like, if you attack people with it, it's like the fucking face huggers in Alien. It just jumps up and it just grabs their face, and then instead of like planting an egg in them, it electrocutes them.
Speaking of
Creepy as
electrocution,
fuck.
Matt, want to talk about your subject?
Oh yeah, so as of recording, I have recently installed my RTX 3070, and I gotta tell you, buying that thing was a eventful fucking morning. So I woke up, I didn't wake up crazy early because I really didn't have to. It went on sale 9 a.m. Eastern time. So I woke up at like an hour early. And so I'm planning on buying it online because at the time I didn't know that there were going to be any physical graphics cards nearby. So, I'm waiting on the website I'm waiting on Best Buy's website, and I'm waiting on Amazon because Nvidia doesn't even want to bother with their website anymore. And then I get an email from I don't know, you guys might not know this tech chain, but it's called Micro Center. It's a really small chain in New York. They're scattered. Apparently,
isn't Micro Center also in Canada?
I have no fucking
I think they're pretty
idea.
big in Canada.
Yeah, there's one like 30 minutes away from me, and I got an email saying, "Oh yeah, come on by if you want one. We have so and so in stock." And I'm like, I don't know. I think I'll be able to get it online. 9 a.m. comes by, and holy shit, what a fucking mess! They fucked it up again. So basically, they wanted to stop the rapid fire just hitting add to cart. So when you hit add to cart, it's like, we're sorry, we cannot do add to cart. So now you're gonna wait now you have to wait 5 minutes for each. You have to wait 5 minutes to click add to cart. So basically, let's say they have 300 units, right? So every 5 minutes, 10 units become available. So you have to wait. And
you have to be rapid clicking that add to cart.
Yeah, just rapid hit clicking F5, and then like sometimes when it says like, "Oh, we have them," it doesn't work. So I was at the point where I'm just like, "Fuck it." So I literally went to the Micro Center in my fucking pajamas, and it was raining, too. Keep that in mind. And the guy's like, "Oh, you're here for the graphics card?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm here for the graphics card.
Just like looking at, yeah, you went, oh yeah, you're definitely here for the graphics card. What's up? I don't know if I should be insulted or annoyed.
I just like the idea of like you're like you keep clicking it, you're like, God damn it. Well, it looks like it's come to this, and you pull a gun out of nowhere.
Give me the fucking graphics card right now.
But you know, getting in store was so much better than waiting online because they had that shit planned out. Like you walk in, they give you they basically had a sheet where they just counted like, oh, here's the amount of people that can enter the store if they want one, and they just give you a sheet that you're supposed to give to the cashier in order for you to get one. So I waited on the line. The line took like an hour, and then I ended up getting it, and I was so I guess I was so happy that fucking license at the counter. So I had to drive 30 minutes back from my house. And then I got my license back, and then
I would have been scared the entire time. Were you scared?
Oh my god! When I found out that I forgot my license, my heart was racing. I floored it back.
That's probably the bad idea.
Yeah, that's how you get a
pulls
ticket.
you over. He's like, license and registration. He's like, hear me out. It's not with me. It's at the store.
Exactly.
I can call them right now, please.
Follow me to the store if you don't believe me.
That's actually not a bad idea. I mean, like, I promise you, I'm not lying. You can like follow me to the store. I won't like do anything weird. I promise.
Yeah. So
Yeah, the moral of the story is if you really want something that's in popular demand, try to get it in person because online's a fucking joke.
that's a fact.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of facts, I don't know how to segue this, but we're running out of time. Infinity Break. You wanna talk about whatever you want to talk about?
Oh yeah. So I guess my topic isn't as cool as your guys's. But I've been playing a lot of Skyrim lately, like I normally do. And as of the last month or so, I have discovered this awesome mod that I think a lot of people should know about because it really, really reinvigorated my love for the entire Elder Scrolls series yet again. There's this mod, and I recently interviewed the mod creator behind it, who is a very awesome person, called Legacy of the Dragonborn. And it is one of the best mods I think I've ever played for Skyrim, both Legendary and Special Edition. And the unique thing about this thing that I've just been playing through, I was just playing it like an hour before I got on for the podcast. That just goes to show that I am indeed playing it very often. The thing about this mod is so cool is that it's not just like something that adds to the base game. It's something that like also adds on to other mods, which is cool. It's one of the only mods I've ever seen to like integrate over like 40 other mods into its like whole thing.
Oh yeah, aren't there like patches on the Nexus for literally every mod in existence for it?
There's patches, but they're mostly so mods don't interfere with each other. This mod is like, yeah, that mod, we integrated it into like the displays and everything in the museum, which is cool. If you don't know what Legacy is, I made a video on it for the review, and I also interviewed the guy who made it, which is on my channel. So a shameless plug. I love it because it's just a simple concept. It adds a museum into the game, and it's basically just a place to hang all your weapons, to show off all your trinkets you find, and it's such a simple concept, but it gets so interesting the more and more you put into it. You basically start up the game, and suddenly there's like way more stuff for you to find in Skyrim. Every cave has something in it: a new weapon, a new bow, a new jewel, a new ring, a new artifact of some sort, a journal that like actually gives you cool new abilities, like a stethoscope or something that lets you like find specific objects more easily. There's so many cool things, and it's like you go to this museum and you start adding to it, and suddenly you have quests for it that are really cool. Like the museum gets haunted at one point, where you go on expeditions to like find these new locations that give you cool artifacts, and like there's these customly voice acted characters, and all the museums like displays also add on with new mods, so you can go and do other mods which you're incentivized to do, get stuff from them and bring it back to the museum. I've just sunk like so much time into it lately, and it's just something I really want more people to know about because it is just so much fun, and it really changes the way you think about Skyrim.
Well, that's pretty cool. I think we can move it on to the lightning round.
Ooh,
Matt, you want to do that?
interesting.
Yeah, so I was at work and I was bored out of my mind, so I came up with this question. For all of you Family Guy fans out there, in the hit episode The Life of Brian, who ran over and killed Brian in the car?
I think it was Quagmire. I think Quagmire would definitely kill Brian.
They do have a feud against each other, yes.
They hate each other.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
understand why.
Didn't Quagmire fuck Brian's daughter or something?
No, he fucked
No,
Quagmire's
Brian.
dad.
Yeah.
And the thing was, it was
Got him.
after like it was after, and this is the thing I hate about Quagmire. Such a fucking person who's like, I'm gonna womanize everybody and just like have sex with everybody. But goddamn, I hate my neighbor's dog because he shits in his yard. He like is a hypocrite, and I'm like,
Like,
you're a
all-
fucking hypocrite, you asshole.
All
Fuck you.
Like all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I fucking hate this dog, man.
And he goes through so much effort to be his friend. I felt bad for Brian for once. I was like, you know
Yeah,
what? Screw you, Quagmire.
There's a lot of times too with that.
Motherfucker got
Where
hit by a
Quagmire's
car.
trying to just fuck everyone's wife too. He
Yes!
does fuck Cleveland's wife at one point. It's like, dude, you're a terrible human being. Like,
Yeah,
He
and he
was
gets
your
mad
friend.
at Brian for wanting to fuck Lois, and I'm like, dude, you have tried 17 times just to do that in the last couple seasons. What is your problem? And he tries to justify, he's like, at least that's what I'm known for. And I'm like, wow, that is the lowest argument you could ever have. Congratulations, screw you.
Well,
it's like, at least I'm a piece of shit and do it, but like you're his dog. It's like,
And,
what?
And
you're
he's
his
a
best
dog.
friend.
but I don't think we'll ever know who's behind that car. But it was probably Quagmire.
You heard it here first, guys. Quagmire killed Brian, but it actually
did it.
never happened. And speaking of highly recommended, I highly recommend Infinity Break's channel. This is me wrapping up, by the way.
Good job.
Aw, thank you.
You guys should go check it out. I was pretty impressed by it when I first saw it. Like, actually, fun fact is, Jay here, he approached me in my survey, like fucking joined, called me out. And I'm like, who has the audacity to do this? And then I looked and I was like, this guy has the right to fucking approach me.
I'm glad you thought that because I did not think the same thing. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna regret it. But you
Dude,
know what? I'm
no.
gonna do
Dude,
it.
I was impressed by your channel. Like, holy frick,
I have a
dude.
habit of doing that in real life. Like, I remember telling my friends about like, oh, I have a crush on this person. They're like, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna ask him out. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And they actually did it. My friend was like, I can't believe you did it. I was like, I said I was gonna do it. I don't go back on my word. I'm gonna do it. Nothing in
Dude.
life that is worth doing is ever easy. So just push yourself through. Even if you get laughed at least you did it.
right?
And sometimes
with
it works out.
So yeah,
Pretty much.
thanks for watching the podcast, everyone. Not gonna lie, getting back into the groove of things with a guest was pretty fun. Luckily, it was someone that we all mutually know, at least. Infinity Break.
I was surprised. I was like, I know these people. I know them.
Yeah, we're all an interconnected community. Literally everyone knows each other. Like,
Look, we'll get to know each other a lot more when Fudge Muppet steals your content.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then we'll be real good friends.
Yeah, so thanks for watching. Everything will be in the description. And yeah, check out Infinity Break's channel. Is there anything you'd like to say before we end, Jay?
It's been an absolute pleasure. Please, if you ever want me to come back on, you've already sold me. I love this.
No
I'll happily
problem, man. We'll have you on at some other time. But yeah, thanks for coming
Yes.
down.
Hey,
And with
like I
that,
said, my pleasure.
thanks for watching the Lodcast, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.